Get together, we're going to do it right, and we're going to represent our school the Mustang way. To reiterate, if you do have a cell phone, you want to make sure that it's turned off and stored away. This is a very, very important opportunity for all of you to engage as a community of learners. So today is your chance to do that and to represent us well. We got a wonderful group of people here who are going to share their stories with you. They want your support. And the best way to do that is by doing the best you can to behave yourselves during this presentation. Okay? That means if you're having a side conversation, you want to stop it. You want to stay focused, because these folks work very hard and they're going to be sharing their hearts with you, and it's very difficult to do, but I know that you guys are going to behave and be receptive to what they have to say. And after this, I am sure that you are going to gain a much clearer perspective of the importance of being different. And differences are what's going to bring us together as long as we take the opportunity to understand and learn. Because there is value in it. Mr. Love, is he in here? Okay. Let me just pass it over to Mr. Love.
I want to say, so about 12 years ago, there was a student who was gay, ran for class president, and his posters were vandalized. He still ran. We gave him full support. It really stuck with everybody who knew the kid that that was still happening, in our times, where we believe we have strong respect for diversity. We believe we have understanding of the full range of the human experience. And we wanted to take that negative and turn it to a positive. So what we started doing 12 years ago was having an assembly for all students every single year, freshman year beginning, and reinforcing the importance of understanding, again, the full range of experience of human beings. Some people are straight. Some people are gay. And that is fine. That's how it is. That's the world. You're going to learn a lot today. It's a very important assembly. Like I said, we've been doing it year after year. There's no kid in this building who hasn't been part of it. Behind me is a solid group of individuals who are part of our Gay Straight Alliance, which is one of the oldest organizations in the state. It's been around since the 90s. We need to understand that in this school, the language we use, the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we interact with others, needs to be defined by mutual respect. And we're allowed to judge people. We have to judge people. We have to take a measure of who is around us. But we can't be judging on the basis of pieces of diversity, religion, race, sexual orientation, national origin, language status. We can't be judging on the basis of those type of things. We have to judge on things that people deserve to be judged on. So what you're going to learn today, you're going to learn a whole lot of things. You're going to take these things with you. You're going to have a chance for discussion. I want you to understand that we have a very strong GSA, Gay Straight Alliance. It's been strong for a very long time. We're very protective of our gay and lesbian students in our school. We're very respectful of their experience the same way we're respectful of any person's experience here. I want to share those things. I really appreciate you listening to me. And I believe I'm going to hand this mic over to Michael and Annabelle. Thank you very much, guys.
Queerly beloved, we are gathered here today for GSA's It Gets Better Assembly. I'm Annabelle Tang, a junior here at Medford High, and I've waited way too long to join the GSA.
And I'm Michael Brantley, a junior here at MHS, and I'm also still a new member of the GSA, having only joined last year at the Boston Pride Parade in June.
The GSA is a club that facilitates a safe place for all of us here at MHS, and this assembly helps encourage that safety. If the GSA is something of your interest, we urge that you attend the meeting and check it out. These 4 years go by quicker than you think, so you don't want to spend too much time pondering on it. Find what will make you happy.
This assembly is very near and dear to the many diverse people of MHS. Everyone speaking today is brave enough to share their personal stories, and it would mean a lot to us if you could please be quiet, respectful, and save all applause for the end of the assembly. Now we're just going to play a quick game.
Stand up if you ate breakfast today.
Sit down. Stand up if you did your homework last night.
Sit down. Stand up if you know someone in the LGBTQ plus community.
Sit down. Stand up if you or someone you know has ever been bullied.
Sit down. Stand up if you have ever struggled before.
Look around you. You are never the only person facing a struggle or trying to overcome something. You are never alone. Sit down.
Now, stand up if you think it can get better.
Sit down. We know a lot of you are probably wondering, why am I here? But this is not an assembly you can just doze off during or talk to through. Its message is important and it deserves your attention.
For 12 years now, the Gay Street Alliance has put on this assembly. In the next 40 or so minutes, you will be hearing very personal stories from people in our community that have overcome their struggles and are living proof that it does in fact get better.
For the next 4 years, you will walk these halls, attend classes, and be a part of the Medford High family. Every single one of them. Regardless of your race, gender, sexuality, beliefs, or anything that makes you different, you are welcomed and accepted here. By administration, by faculty, and by your peers.
We have a zero tolerance policy for bullying and any type of discrimination at Medford High School. Each and every one of you deserve to have a safe place where you can be yourselves, and if you don't have that anywhere else, you have it here at MHS. And no matter what you may be struggling with, it gets better.
Start with one line, one video. A message of hope to those in need. A rallying cry for those who want to make a difference. One message, with now over 50,000 stories. It gets better. They touched hearts, drew tears, and brought smiles to faces. You never know when your story can change a life, or when it can change the world. Your stories are now part of a nonprofit reaching 6 continents, providing hope and inspiring change worldwide for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender youth. The It Gets Better Project, a nonprofit created by you, changing lives worldwide, one story at a time.
To start off, we have Joe Camara, a senior and captain of the football team, with his athlete's welcome speech.
Hello. For those of you that do not know me, I am Joe Camara, and I'm the captain of the football team. Here at Medford High, we go above and beyond to make sure everyone is able to feel free and comfortable with who they are. It's important to us and all athletes here that every person feels free to express how they feel and who they are in the hallways, in the locker room, on the field, or wherever it may be. To us, whether you're gay, straight, transgender, bisexual, or whatever you may be, it doesn't matter. Especially in high school, not everyone realizes how important people's feelings are and how much just accepting them for who they are really matters. To take a second out of your day and say hi to a person that different means the world to them. The Mustang way is that we accept everyone, and you have the power to do whatever you want to do. Sports are not just the best athletes coming together and playing. It's about building something way bigger than that, a family. Us as a school and a football team want you guys to know that it doesn't matter who you are or what you believe. If you believe you can do something, go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid to do something you want because you might be different. As the school year continues and we grow as a family, I would like you guys to know I'm here for all of you. If you ever need anything, from just having someone to talk to or a friendly hug, I'm here, as well as my teammates. Here at Medford High, we are one, but we are many. Have no fears and chase your dream. And remember, it gets better.
Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does.
Jason Collins is the first male player from a major team sport to announce that he is gay.
I'm dating a guy, and I couldn't be happier.
I'm Michael Sam. I'm a football player, and I'm gay.
Robbie Rogers now breaking yet another barrier.
All the support has been overwhelming.
Because of you, there's a little boy playing basketball right now who knows that he can be who he is and play the sport that he loves.
When you look back on these years, you will see a time in which we put a stop to discrimination against gays and lesbians.
We have to be brave to step forward and declare to the rest of the world, this is who I am.
Desde o campo, não existe espaço para preconceito e discriminação, somente a arte de jogar.
Live your life the way you want to live.
Não importa quem você ama, o que importa é fazer tudo.
Being gay in sports doesn't change the way we play the game.
Sport unites us.
Let's support a world where every athlete
Be proud of who they are.
It's important to be proud of what
Jogo com orgulho.
I'm proud to play.
I'm proud to play.
This is the biggest moment in sports. It's our time to make a difference and show the world that every athlete can be proud to play.
sport can create hope where once there was only despair.
Next off, we have Ariel Panetta, a senior here at MHS, giving her story of coming out to the MHS community.
My name is Ariel Panetta, and I'm a senior. I've been raised in a strict and traditional household, but with loving parents. My parents were always supportive of everything I did, except when it came to me being different. They said it couldn't be true, and it's unacceptable for the sake of the family. To this day, they are in denial and have decided to forget about it rather than talk about it. I'm okay with this though, as they still treat me normally and as if I am their child. Though at my household there remains questions about my sexuality, my school life has affected me differently. In elementary school, I was never popular or well known, and eventually I learned to be okay with being a nobody. I was quiet and kept to myself, but once middle school began, I learned that everyone is in everyone else's business. It was impossible for people not to find out that I in fact like girls. Whispers from the back of the classroom taunted me, as I constantly felt eyes watching over my every move. For the first time, I was someone, but not for something I was proud of at the time. I came out in 6th grade. Before this, I had always known I was attracted to girls, even as a kid. I thought it was normal, but at the time, others felt differently. Friends became distraught and almost uncomfortable around me, while many others spoke behind my back. I learned to hold my feelings in when I felt insulted or attacked. The year ended quickly, and I knew the next year would be different. Going into high school, I knew I'd feel more comfortable and accepted regarding how I identified. I heard about the GSA and how big it has become within Medford High. I can honestly say that the level of acceptance by peers and teachers in the school is at a higher level than I've ever experienced. My friend group over the years has increased not only in number, but also in value and quality. This means that I've gained a support system in the process. The personal connections and support I've gained with various teachers and guidance counselors is beyond what I expected. There is always someone to ensure that I am the best version of myself and feel safe to present the real me. Whether you guys believe it or not, it gets better. Things do get better. Thank you.
I'm Elizabeth Warren, and you may be wondering what I have to say to you. After all, I haven't lived your life. But when I graduated from college, I was a school teacher, and I watched what happens in hallways, on sidewalks, out in the schoolyard. I watched kids who pushed, who bullied. I saw how much pain some kids could inflict on other kids. But you know what happens? It does get better. It gets better because you're not alone. There are people who care about you. There are people who love you. Reach out. Find friends. And if it feels too hard, call the Trevor Project. 866-4U-TREVOR. Because here's what you'll find. There are a lot of different people out there in this world. And a lot of people who celebrate those differences. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us exciting. So hang in there. It gets better.
Before we continue, I just want to say that these people are telling stories that are extremely important to who they are, and it would be amazing if you could just please be respectful and just listen to the stories they're telling. So next off, we have Hannah Rogers, a junior here at MHS, talking about her coming out with her pansexuality.
When I was 14, I figured out that I was pansexual. I had learned the term and realized that it described exactly how I felt. In regards to the LGBTQ+ community, pansexuality falls under the plus. To me, pansexuality means to be attracted to someone regardless of their gender. It does not matter whether someone is male, female, non-binary, or anything else. I love people for who they are and not what they are. I did not feel the need to tell people this, but I would have conversations where people would imply that I was straight, and I would simply correct them. I was fortunate that it was never an issue with my friends. At some point that year, I was talking to my dad, and the same sort of situation came up. I corrected him, not thinking anything of it. My parents were always really accepting of everyone, but my father shocked me when he completely dismissed what I had to say. He refused to believe that I, his only child, was not heterosexual and could possibly not marry a man. He said that I was too young to know this about myself, and he made it very clear that I should not tell people because a label like this would stay with someone forever. I was deeply hurt by this conversation. I had never been concerned about other people's perceptions of me changing when they found out about my pansexuality. I did not become overly concerned about this after the conversation with my dad, but I was upset that he thought one label that affects no one but myself was so life-altering, that I could not share my feelings with others in fear of backlash. I dropped the subject and did not bring it up for an entire year. At that point, I decided to try to come out to my father for a second time. My feelings had not changed. I proceeded to tell him how I felt. This time he did not bring up the label issue, but more seemed uncomfortable and did not respond. He dismissed my feelings for a second time by completely ignoring them. Another year passed, and in June, I wanted to go to the annual Pride Parade that takes over Boston. The GSA takes a group to the march every year, and I had a vision of the exact outfit that I wanted to wear. The most important piece of this outfit was going to be a simple shirt that had the pansexual pride colors on it, which are pink, yellow, and blue. I searched online and could not find this shirt anywhere. I often buy my clothes secondhand, and my father alters them to the style that I desire. Knowing that he could make me this shirt, but not wanting to be dismissed once again, especially when it came to this important opportunity, that I get to go to Pride and be proud of who I am and wear this shirt that was going to be the centerpiece of my outfit, I did not want anything negative to be associated with that. I asked my dad to make me this shirt without telling him the meaning behind it. He agreed and proceeded to spend 14 hours over the next 3 days making me this shirt. The day of Pride had finally arrived and I got all ready. I put little rainbows on my cheeks and I braided my hair with the pansexual Pride color ribbons, and I put on my new shirt. My dad wanted to take a picture of me in my full Pride attire, so I went outside and I posed, and he held up the camera and said, "Say pansexual." It really took me by surprise, and in that moment I was actually a little uncomfortable hearing him say that label that he had denied for so long. Looking back on it now, I'm happy that he decided to say it and be supportive of me. It warms my heart that he was able to finally acknowledge me. My pride has only grown knowing that he is also proud of me. I went to his work a few weeks ago, and in his office he has that picture of me hanging in front of all the other ones. My name is Hannah Rogers, and I am proud to be who I am. I know what it's like to have someone you love tell you that your feelings are wrong, or that you are too young to decide how you really feel, but I also know what it's like to finally get through to someone and have them understand that what you feel right now is important. Thank you.
From the upcoming season of TLC's award-winning show, I Am Jazz, and Jazz Jennings joins us live. Good morning.
Good morning.
So great to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you here. Okay, so we saw in that clip, you identify yourself as pansexual. For people that don't understand what that's like, how would you describe your journey with that?
I basically say that it's like love without limits. I love a person for who they are on the inside, regardless of their label, their sexual orientation, their gender. I just love people for who they are. So, I mean, I haven't really dated a whole lot. You've seen in the show that I've gone on a few different dates, but really, I'm still exploring my sexuality for sure.
Next up, we have sophomore member of the GSA, Jovia Moran, and her speech on how we are all human.
I'm lesbian, I'm gay, I'm bisexual, I'm transgender, I'm queer, I'm straight, I'm human. I am everything I want to be and everything I don't. I have a heartbeat, I have thoughts and feelings. There is only one of me and I am capable of many things. I have the ability to love. Everyone in this room can and does love. And no, I'm not saying LV. I mean love, an intense feeling of deep affection. Wait, maybe I said it wrong. Or maybe I didn't. Love shouldn't be what society wants it to be or hopes it will be. Love can't be contained. But maybe a lot of us think that love only applies to those I'm tired of hearing that our love, your love, is just a phase. Because our love isn't just. You're not just anything. I am not a phase. I am not a just. I'm human. Just. Adverb. Simply, only, no more than. Simply. Only, no more than a phase. My love is not simple. Your love is not a phase. Your love is what makes the world dance, smile, sing. You make the world spin. Don't let them label us, you, a phase. Homophobia, noun, a prejudice or dislike of homosexual people. I will never understand how you can dislike or have a prejudice against love. In the words of Lin-Manuel Miranda, love is love, is love, is love, is love, is love, is love. And unlike contracts, love does not come with a fine print. No homo, bro. I'm straighter than a stick. That's gay. I don't support gay marriage laws. Some of these words have caused thousands of LGBTQ youth to take their lives each year. We think that they need to toughen up, but maybe we are the ones that need to soften down. They already have to deal with the rest of the world. Don't make them deal with us, their classmates as well. I believe in hope, prosperity, and healing for the youth of this world, no matter what you identify as. Because regardless of what you are, we are all world changers. And for anyone out there who is scared, unhappy, lost, I love you. My love is not reserved. My love is not stingy. Be yourself, and if you don't know where to start, find GSA. Find me. I'm lesbian, I'm gay, I'm bisexual, I'm queer, I'm straight, I'm human, and I'm proud.
I'm not freestyling, I'm too old. I wrote you a sonnet instead. When senseless acts of tragedy remind us that nothing here is promised, not one day. The show is proof that history remembers. We live through times when hate and fear seem stronger. We rise and fall, and light from dying embers, remembrances that hope and love last longer. And love is 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 love, cannot be killed or swept aside. I sing it as a symphony. Eliza tells her story. Now fill the world with music, love, and pride. Thank you so much for listening.
Next up is a beloved faculty member and Medford High alum, Michael McLaughlin.
I have no right to say or do anything that diminishes a man in his own eyes. What matters is not what I think of him, but what he thinks of himself. Hurting a man in his dignity is a crime. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Presently within schools, 30 to 40% of students have reported feeling unsafe in some regard to bullying. Whether feeling unsafe due to sexual orientation or gender expression, these students have either witnessed or been the victim of verbal and physical harassment. Speaking before you today, I admit that at your age, I was one of these victims. Hello, my name is Michael McLaughlin, though some of you may know me as Mr. Mike. I am a Medford High School class of 2006 graduate, a Bridgewater State University alum, and an administrative assistant in the main office here at MHS. I am a director of youth theater. I am Irish, Italian, Catholic, and I am gay. I tell you all of this because I am proud of who I am, although this was not always the case. Growing up, I was completely influenced by society and what was classified as normal. I believed I was destined to find a woman, be married, and have kids, happily ever after. The problem, I wasn't happy. I was confused. I did not understand why my interests were different than some of the other males in my classes, or why I was not as athletic. I wondered why I loved theater and dance, why most of my friends were female, and eventually why I started to look at men differently. This generated a war within me, my struggle with who I was and who I was going to be. What was worse, my confusion was the weapon used against me to tear me down. Lost in my own ways and still treading in an undiscovered identity, I was labeled fag. I have vivid memories of being tormented in these hallways and mocked in the gym and cafeteria. I remember having other males make comments in the locker room about how they shouldn't let the fag in there while they changed. It was for boys only. Due to my difference, they had stripped me of my gender norms and rebranded me something else, something hurtful. They had labeled me something I did not yet even understand and defined my being by a sexuality I was still uncovering. They had enforced the idea that being gay is subpar, worthless, and weak. These feelings were soon perpetrated at home through the guise of my father in my face. Whilst my father was battling his own demons of addiction, he made it clear that he would not tolerate having a queer son. He had stated that he would rather not have a son than a gay one. In discovering who I am, I thought I would never be able to share my life with my father. Being raised in a religious household, I was also told that being gay was a sin. Spiraling into this darkness within myself, the external hatred became self-loathing. Hating the person I was, discovering I am, was torture. My pain became emblazoned into scars on my arms, and soon turned into seclusion, depression, and an act against my life. In my darkest moment, I tried to kill myself. standing before you today, I clearly did not succeed. It took years of therapy, amazing friends, the bond between myself and my two sisters, and self-discovery to realize that my happiness rested in the acceptance of myself, something I struggled with my entire life. I can proudly say that I came out of the closet in college at the age of 20, and from that moment on, my confidence has matured. It is with this confidence that I fully embrace my own sexual identity. Listen to me now. Embracing your identity is the most honest thing you can ever do. If you have faith, hold on to it. Whatever higher power you believe in will love you for being that honest individual. I now know this, and my relationship with God and my faith is unwavering. Fortunately, I can also say that with much time, my Father has accepted me and loves me unconditionally. He discovered in his own journey that there may be people or identities he may not understand, but he must accept them because everyone deserves acceptance, respect, and love. Do not let anyone in your lifetime extinguish your flame. Discover the person you want to be, the person you are, and shine. Do not let anyone tell you your identity is a preference. We were born this way. Remember that for every hateful person, there is one more reaching out a loving hand. Never forget the pain and struggle you may have gone through. Those scars defined us and resurrect us as the warriors we are. John Green once said, "When people try to minimize your pain, they are doing you a disservice. And when you try to minimize your own pain, you're doing yourself a disservice. Don't do that." The truth is that it hurts because it's real. It hurts because it mattered. And that's an important thing to acknowledge to yourself. But that doesn't mean that it won't end, that it won't get better, because it will. If you don't take anything from me of what I say today, please take this. I am living proof that it does in fact get better. Thank you.
Next up, we have senior MHS Shannon Herrigan talking about her struggle with depression.
Hi everyone, my name is Shannon and I'm a senior here at Medford High. I'm so excited to be here today at this amazing assembly. I feel like just yesterday I was sitting in one of those seats listening to so many beautiful stories from all different identities. My story is a bit different than some of the other people here, but what I'm going to share with you, many will still identify with. At age 10, I started to feel myself becoming depressed. Growing up, I felt like the black sheep in school, and going home, I dealt with my mother using alcohol to hide her own pain. And at that time, no one under my roof had positive coping skills. I never wanted to feel like a bother to anyone I was close to because I saw their own struggles and thought silence and ignoring my pain would resolve everything. Fast forward to middle school, and I started using negative coping skills instead of speaking with an adult who would gladly be there for me and support me. I felt like I was in this deep, dark ditch, and no matter how hard I thought I was trying, I couldn't get myself out of it. In high school, I started going to parties and tried fitting in with anyone who would accept me. At that point, my depression consumed my life, and I felt like I was screaming, yet no one was there to hear me. One day after school, I couldn't hide my pain any longer, resulting in a manic episode in front of my mother. After this episode, she got me treated at all different inpatient and outpatient therapies, where I learned positive coping skills and that talking to people can help you grow. There are people that love you even if you don't think so. You are wanted on this earth, and each and every one of you have a purpose here. Whether you're struggling with your sexuality, your home life, friends, or school, people are here for you, and they need you here. Reach out to someone dependable, a very trusted friend, a guardian, a guidance counselor, or even a close teacher. Medford High has so many different walks of life here, and you will find your place, and I can promise you that. The GSA and many other clubs here make Medford High an accepted community where you won't be judged for who you are deep down inside. Thank you to the wonderful people in GSA for letting me speak here today, and remember, if you ever feel so alone in this world that you'd rather just not be here, please reach out to someone. I want you here to help change the world. Life is a beautiful struggle, but I promise you, in the end, you will be stronger and it will get better. Thank you for listening.
I was feeling so alone.
I was going through a really difficult time.
I was embarrassed and a little scared.
I didn't want to bother anyone.
I didn't think they'd understand.
I thought it would just make things worse.
It was tough at first, but I did it. It ended up taking a huge weight off my shoulders.
I felt a lot better. I'm glad I asked for help.
I asked for help.
I asked my teacher.
I asked my aunt.
I asked the Trevor Project.
Now, I feel like I can get through this.
I know that I'm brave.
You can do this.
Whatever it is, ask for help.
If you're thinking about suicide or need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. Trained counselors are there to help 24/7. Ask for help.
Next up is Reverend Lambert Ramming from Tufts University.
In general, I'm not picky about a lot of things. When it comes to eating, all I need to know is that there is food because I'm hungry. You can laugh. And when it comes to sleeping, it's the same thing because all I need is a couch because I am tired. But as I'm eating or as I'm falling asleep, there is something that I am picky about. What I watch on Netflix. You see, I count on these TV shows to transport me to another dimension, to another realm. I want the drama, the action, the excitement, the passion. I want to be thrilled and surprised, inspired and mesmerized. The plot has to be as unpredictable as possible and the characters need to be mysterious, curious, but most of all, real. And so I watch shows like Empire, Scandal, Insecure, Game of Thrones, and Stranger Things. I know that's your show too? Yeah, I'm with my people, all right. But can I tell you a secret about those shows? Those shows that I just named, when I first started watching them, I was not a fan at all. I was not captivated. I wasn't moved, and it seemed as though these shows were just a bunch of hype. And I talked about it with my friends, those people I know, those people I trust, those people who told me to watch these shows in the first place, my friends. And they kept telling me this, Lambert, I promise you, give it another chance, watch another episode, stick with it. And out of complete frustration, I would ask them, why? To which they would reply, because it gets better. And you know what? I'm glad I listened to them. Because after a while, the shows actually did get better. Better scripts and twists, better lines and better set designs, better characters with better personalities, better angles with better lighting, and sooner than later, I found myself on a complete binge, watching every single episode and watching every single season. But besides Game of Thrones or Empire, I have become excited about another show. And this one you can't find on Netflix. In fact, it's more locally based. So I'll have to tell you about it. Is that fine?
Yeah.
All right. So when I point to you, you're going to say 3 words. It gets better. Let's try that out. Yeah. Okay, but let's try this if we're alive and we're happy to be here. So, yeah. All right, so let me tell you about it. The first couple of episodes, they were rough. But it's about a guy who leaves the palm trees of the islands for the big lights of the city because he wanted to get away, go to school, get a job, and live his own life. But wait, He was successful. He got a degree in music, became a teacher, and even found time on the weekends to go to the club with his friends. But y'all, he's always been religious and spiritual, but was inspired to do more. He didn't want to just go to church. He wanted to start a church, and he's gay. But he went to school and studied hard, and despite the criticism, despite the discrimination and the rejection, he became a pastor. But hear me out, because now he preaches heart-changing sermons about peace, hope, joy, and love, but especially about how he goes around to other churches and schools and communities to let them know that he even finds time to go to the club with his friends, because a queer pastor who blazes it on the dance floor, that's solid proof that and this show, I watch it every single time, and when I do, it brings me joy and gives me a reason to keep moving on. Medford High, your life might not be televised, it might not be on film, and it might not be on Netflix, but it is real, it is genuine, it is honest, but most of all, it is yours. So stick with it, because give it another chance, because watch another episode, because binge watch it every day, because and that is not all hype, that is all hope. It is the hope that and I forgot to tell you all the name of the show we just talked about for so long. It's called My Life, and it gets better.
And lastly, we have Mr. Milne, a history teacher here at MHS, talking about the problems which arise in a cookie-cutter society.
Good morning. I have my bodyguards here, Shay Hertigan and David Antoine. I've been teaching here a long time. I'll probably have you when you are juniors and seniors. I teach history and psychology. When I was your age, I was a jock who played 4 years of football and 4 years of soccer. I'm from the South. Soccer is played in the spring in the South. I went on to play soccer in college. And then I coached the varsity soccer team for a long time. I used to coach against Dr. Perella, my team against his team. What team do you think won? Yours. I went on to compete throughout the world in triathlons and cross-country skiing, and I still coach an elite ski team now. I've been married to my husband for 20 years, and we have a dog named Cosmo. Cosmo is a work in progress. You guys that are dog owners know my pains. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to tell you a magical story. So let's take a deep breath. Let's go someplace magical. Once upon a time, in the land of McAndrews, one cookie cutter turned out pretty young girls, and the workers painted their shoes pink and gave them a flower bouquet. The other cookie cutter produced young boys, and the workers painted their shoes blue and gave them a baseball cap. Throughout their elementary and middle school years, these girl and boy cookies, for the most part, behaved alike. Any cookie that didn't behave as a proper girl or proper boy was quickly put back into the hot oven. And then one day, a cookie revolution was started by some very brave cookies. They said, we are not going back into that hot oven anymore. We are not going to take that heat anymore. And we are done with there only being two kinds of cookies. So down with cookie cutters. The suspense is building. I like that. Or cookie cutter. Well, okay. All right. Here at Medford High School, we have big cookies. We have small cookies. We have dark cookies. We have light cookies. We have foreign-made cookies. We have masculine cookies, feminine cookies, straight cookies, gay cookies, bi cookies, transgender cookies, and most important of all, we have Mustang cookies. And that brings me to you and us here today. If you were one of those cookies thrown into that hot oven, I'm truly sorry that happened to you, and it shouldn't have happened. It does get better. When one cookie hurts, we all hurt. Here at Medford High School, we all of us together, are going to make it better. Now, you might think I would end this story by saying, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But nobody is crumbling here. We are brave, we are strong, and we are kind cookies. Unfortunately, we need to talk about a few mean cookies out there. When you bite into them, they taste really, really bitter. These cookies have a lot of hate. It's hard to believe, but sometimes these cookies can rise to the top. But even that doesn't make them happy, and they continue to spew their hatred, especially for the dark, foreign-born, and LGBT cookies. How did these cookies become so hateful? These people cling to their hate because they know that all they would have left is pain. And they don't have the courage to address their pain. But don't let one bitter cookie make a sweet cookie like you bitter. Of the billions of people that have lived on Earth, will be on Earth, there will only ever be one cookie like you. At Medford High School, we want you to be the best, the happiest cookie you can possibly be. The end. Thank you very much.
that we need this leader and carry the importance of the message. We also hope to see you Thursdays at 2:30 in the City 303. And remember, Metro High, it gets better!
Okay, one last big round of applause for all awesome GSA members. Ms. Jaffa, please stand up for assistants, please stand up for Ohio Road members. Thank you guys for listening. I wanted this to sink in tonight. Think about what you heard, what you saw today. Right now, we're going to proceed to our period 3 class, nice and calmly. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.